are one of our faculty in the MBA, so you know our MBA students quite well. What advice do you have for young executives to develop their careers in or with China?
Well, I think first of all, China is a full body experience. And that's why I applaud people from overseas who come to CEIBS to learn and to be part of China, because there's really no other way to do it. Standing outside the country and studying it and thinking about it is no substitute for being part of it. So my biggest advice is go out and be an entrepreneur in whichever context you find yourself in. That doesn't necessarily mean running a startup, though everybody could. It can be a part of a big organization too. But in that organization, ask the questions of why aren't we in China? Or what are we doing there? How can we do it better? What should we reinvent? Get in charge of some initiative that allows you to test out some of those ideas that you've had. Because now is the time. China values scale and speed.
The point about China is that it has an abundance of possibilities for all things, all sorts of success. And I think it's a very ripe ground in which one can really fulfill whichever path one wants to take to find success. But what is important is to come to China without preconceptions, like the ideas of what China is, either through media or through what you've read. I think coming with an open mind, having a willingness to be humble and to learn is really important. I think that's the first. Not to have rigid plans, because rigid plans never go very well in China. I think also learning about Chinese history, Chinese society and culture is really helpful to understand the context. I think especially in these days where there is so much sort of information floating around of, that's quite polarizing. I think to find out for yourself and do some study is also very important. I think to be optimistic, patient, to be resilient is also helpful. I think sometimes things are not always as they seem, and what seems to be very insurmountable obstacles sometimes melt away more easily than you think.
Now, with the technological disruption, there is so many ways that they can enter the fashion industry with very little investments through creating startups, disrupting the supply chain by adding some technology that may enhance any of the parts that we are doing. 3D printing we're commenting. Any customer experience in online that may help the customer to convert more. Go for crowdfunding and create your own brand. So with the tools they have, I think it's up to them to enter the industry. In terms of capabilities, I would say it's about having the positive attitude. Keep eager to be curious, keep eager to learn. And my message will be go and conquer.
In a way, I think we have come to a point where you need to make a choice. Either you want to make an international career in, if I may call them, the former colonized world, where the basic business logic and cultural context is fairly similar. You can go from one country with your experience to another and quickly be successful. But there are some countries which are very different, and where you need to be much deeper in your complete understanding of those culture in order to be successful. And I'm thinking of Japan, Korea, Thailand, and of course China. I think with these countries you need to decide on a much more narrow and deep career to be truly successful over time.
To all the women MBA out there, if I could just maybe give you 4 humble advice. Number 1, something that I think many women overlook is you can never spend too much time with your loved ones. No matter how busy you are, really make sure you make time to nourish these relationships, whether it's your friends, your relative, your kids, your husband, your parents, whatever they are. Nourish these relationships. Otherwise, one day, even after you have it all, the success, the money, you may regret not doing that. Number 2, when times are tough, believe in yourself. And also know that it is these challenges that actually make you stronger. Number 3, keep an open mind, like kind of like what Steve asked me when he tried to convince me to leave Palm to join Apple. When you're faced with a really difficult decision, just ask yourself where you will make a bigger impact in this world. And number 4, my wish to every single one of you is that one day you will find your mission in life. Not just a job or a career, but a mission that you truly believe in.